I walk through the shadow of death left to fear. This is a journey through the halls of hell.
Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back with a movie review, and this week I want to talk about the film Brotherhood of the Wolf. Now this is a French movie that came out in about 2001, and I have to say, right off the bat, this is one of the most instantly memorable films in my mind ever, due to the fact it's got the strangest mix of genres I might have ever seen in any movie. So first of all, it's a period drama, which traditionally I hate movies like that, you know, whimsical upper class things like Sense and Sensibility and Little Women, and I know that these are classic stories, it's just the aesthetic of people having more money than sense is not an enjoyable environment for me. However, I guess this had an extra layer of interest to it instantly in the fact that it's French, so I'm watching a French period drama, and whenever that's the case, it feels more historical than if I was watching a British period drama, for example. So what other genres does this film have other than period drama, you might ask? Well, first of all, it is a martial arts genre film. There are full-on choreographed kick, spin kick, punch, martial art fight sequences in this film. Mark Dacascos plays one of the lead roles in this. The last thing he was in was John Wick 3, but he's a classic sort of B-movie martial artist, but he really does great in this role. I remember him being in the very first ever live-action manga, which was called Crying Freeman. I never even actually watched it, but I always remember seeing the box in my video shop. So yeah, let's get that out of the way. We got a period drama with people busting out wheel kicks. So what else? Well, this is also a horror. The primary plot of the film is that a monster of some description is walking into towns at night and killing the townspeople. So these two guys have been tasked to get to the bottom of this mystery. And that is basically Brotherhood of the Wolf in a nutshell. It is a martial art, horror, French period drama, and as much as it sounds like none of that should work, it all works really well. This movie has a great supporting cast in it as well. It's got Vincent Cassel in it, who was in La Haine, and it's also got Monica Bellucci in it from The Matrix, amongst many other things. One thing I need to get out of the way is, this movie is unfortunately hindered in the same way that so many movies made after the year 2000 are, in that it chose to use CGI for its monster, and even though the monster is shown predominantly at night, it's just bad CGI, and bad CGI holds up way worse than any other kind of effect, and unfortunately, you can tell the creature is CGI in this movie. Almost a compliment to the film, because usually that would be enough for me to turn it off, but I can excuse the CGI monster just because the story's so unique, the setting's so unique, and I love martial art movies, and the fact that they've just got a layer of martial arts in this as well is just, it's such a strange choice, but it's brilliant. The two protagonists in this movie also have the bandit highwayman aesthetic almost. They've got black leather trench coats which button up to over their noses with a sort of neck on the coat, and then they've got those triangular admiral hats as well, so they really do look sort of bandit highwaymen. They're almost like two period drama Batman looking guys just investigating this mystery. And I don't want to spoil it, but there's some shocking twists and turns throughout this film as well. People die I 100% did not expect to die. Some people die you do not expect to be dead. Some people live you don't expect to live, etc. Some very surprising twists in there as well. It's beautifully filmed. It's really beautifully filmed, and I also feel like this movie kind of convinced France they could make action films. You know, if you'd watched any cinema coming out of France in the 90s, it was all background music with women whimsically falling in love, running along bridges in Paris with petals flowing in the background. Now, that probably isn't in any French film ever, but that is what I think of when I think of every French film ever. And then came along some absolute cutthroat badassery like Brotherhood of the Wolf, and France were like, oh, we're not just romantic, let's beat the shit out of these fools. In fact, I've got a theory that France invented parkour after watching Brotherhood of the Wolf. I mean, if anything wants to make you run up a building, it's being chased by a Godzilla-sized wolf. But yeah, after Brotherhood of the Wolf came out, they had things like District 13 and other action movies, but I feel like this is the first proper, trying to be mainstream French action movie that I ever saw. I'm not sure if they filmed this in France. I'm assuming it was, but wherever they filmed it as well, the scenery is just brilliant throughout the film. They get some amazing natural shots of forests and mountains and stuff like that. As I get older, I'm not quite one of these people that'll look at a painting of a hill for half an hour yet, but I do appreciate the natural beauty around me as I age, and also when you can frame that inside of a camera in some unique, brilliant way and capture a piece of this off that no one else has quite got in the same way yet. That sort of stuff really stands out to me nowadays, and this film just captures some great natural landscapes. I'm trying to dance around things while I do this, by the way, because there are twists and turns, and I refuse to give them away in case you guys haven't seen this. But yeah, they even managed to have somewhat of a really prominent twist ending going on in there, on top of all the other elements I've already discussed. I did see it coming, but you know, if you haven't watched this film, watch the film and let me know if you saw it coming. And yeah, that has been my review of Brotherhood of the Wolf, a little underrated French classic, and even if you're still skeptical, go on YouTube and type in Brotherhood of the Wolf opening scene. It's got so many things going on aesthetically straight away that I found it interesting. You know, the two bandit highwayman characters in slow motion pouring down rain in the French countryside, taking on a group of bandits with all slow motion cameras and rain, and it's hard to describe. Check it out. If after the first scene you're sold, watch the rest. And until next time, I hope you've liked this review. Like, subscribe, comment down below, come over to the Patreon and join my gang and support me personally. Until next week, I've been BA. Peace.